Got a few videos lined up today. Right now, let's start off with former employees from Erika Kirk, Romanian orphanage.
From a European country for tricking. Well, that's what some people are saying on social media. You can see a couple of the posts here.
I think what you're not understanding is the orphanage that she had and that she ran in Romania, where children came up missing and it got accused, the whole orphanage got accused.
Erika Kirk's past in Romania has always been the one chapter nobody was allowed to touch, but now the silence just cracked. A former employee from that Romanian orphanage has finally come forward, and they're claiming Erika didn't just hide documents, she allegedly ordered staff to burn them. And these weren't random files. According to this employee, they were records that could directly
I can't tell if this is real or AI slop.
connect Erika to decisions
I know
she
the
spent
this
years
part of the
denying.
thing is
The
true, but
missing
like,
children, the forced adoption, the suspicious donors. But the part that really makes people uncomfortable is that this employee says the burning didn't happen quietly or once, it was done deliberately, under pressure, and with instructions that made it clear someone was trying to erase a paper trail completely. So the question now is, why was Erika's orphanage history systematically covered up, and why did nobody speak up till now?
If it came out, it was like a little sex cult trial thing going on. I'm pretty sure, like, I wouldn't want anything to be a part of that. And then if you find, what are the odds of something being associated with it? Red flags. Like, you can't deny something happened here. This is wild.
Yeah, there have been some suspicions and allegations that this organization may or may not
Those
have
fucking
been linked
noses her
to
and her
some
mother got, dude. I fucking hate them.
that took place with some U.S. military
That
personnel
fucking
in
veneer
nearby
smile, too.
NATO.
So, as you guys probably know, every time questions came up about Erika's orphanage, Romanian Angels, the story shut down fast. No records, no former staff, no paper trail. And that always rubbed people off the wrong way because with Erika, there always seems to be some part of the truth missing. So, when this former employee started speaking up, people paid attention. Not because he was really saying anything people hadn't already speculated, but because they said it with the conviction of someone who saw it all go down. The first thing the employee mentioned was the photos from that era, and that stopped people cold in their tracks, because those photos have popped up multiple times since people started talking about Erika more. But when people type in Erika's name and the orphanage, none of the photos that pop up are of the children or anything related to the orphanage. And while this could be the algorithm just doing its thing, the fact that the first 20 images have nothing to do with the orphanage, even though we know those images are publicly available, sends a clear message. Someone doesn't want people looking into it, and someone has spent a great deal of effort to scrub most of it off the internet. Even when you do dig long enough to unearth the pictures, they tell a completely different story from what Erika always tried to present. Erika has always acted like the Romanian Angels Project was this selfless thing she did just because she loved kids so much. But looking at those photos, it seemed more like optics than care. Insiders said the place ran like a photo backdrop, with Erika swooping in for pictures while leaving the actual work to everyone else. And when all of this information came out, people started taking a closer look at all the contradictions
It's been from Romania.
in Erika's story about the orphanage.
Like, how do you
and
get
the
kicked out?
sinister
I don't know how anybody, like, how do you get kicked out of Romania? Like, of all those countries, and, like, there's a lot of the big countries here, like, oh, okay, they're strict. Like, Ukraine. What the fuck would you have to do in Ukraine? Well, yeah, child sex. For them to turn around and not put you in jail, though, is weird, too.
connections surrounding it. Now here's where this stops being about one former employee and starts looking like a pattern that's been forming for years. As y'all know, Erika didn't just stumble into powerful circles later in life. Long before Charlie, she already had access most people never get. Her father, parents Kent Francevay, and mother, Lori Lane Francevay, both worked in or owned companies that were closely linked to major U.S. government organizations. That kind of background doesn't just provide connections, it teaches you how systems work, how oversight gets avoided, and how problems quietly disappear. So when Erika later positioned herself in spaces tied to power and image, it didn't come out of nowhere. Competing as Miss Arizona in the Trump-run Miss USA pageant also placed her directly inside an ecosystem built on elite access, donor money, and closed-door relationships. Now here's why that matters to the story. That pageant wasn't just owned by Trump. It was staffed, sponsored, and socially reinforced by his inner circle.
What was that? What's that program? Hold on, I'll be right back. Hold up. So like I was saying, they do this all the time. The CIA, they like doing this shit. Midnight climaxes where they get like people all fucked up and put them on drugs and get hot women to fucking like, or well, sexual escorts to do shit with them. But they'd use that as blackmailing behind the scenes. You know what I mean? So like, this screams like that. I also don't think everything. I think Kirk was completely manufactured too. And like I said, the squib idea makes so much more sense. Like all these people, like Trump when he got shot, it was a squib on his ear. I made a video on that. Like, you could see the green in one of the video pictures I found. Like, you wouldn't have anything. And his ear is perfectly fine. All these people live in a LARP. Like, everything is fake and they show us it. It's all designed. We see the camera part. That's it. We don't see what happens the moment cut happens.
And with
They're
what's
actors.
now publicly known about how
What
figures
about
like
Trump for
Epstein
years?
operated within those same elite networks, people
He's
have
still
started
alive,
wondering
too.
what Erika's role in the fold was.
Just a
Epstein's still
reminder
fucking
that
alive.
it's been nearly 7
Been saying
years
that fucking
since
for
Jeffrey
years.
Epstein was arrested.
That's why there's no body and no real evidence. If there was a real body, they would have showed us something. You know what I mean? Like, no, there's nothing. They kept him alive. He's too high of a whatever priest he is in his fucking weird cult shit. You don't got a weird temple on your fucking island where you sacrifice kids for no reason at all and don't serve a weird hierarchy in your weird occult. Like, fuck.
For minors, and to this day, not a single one of his clients, the
Hey, buddy.
people he was to, have been arrested or charged with anything at all.
As y'all know, Epstein didn't move alone. It's been widely reported that he relied on modeling agencies, casting pipelines, and international recruitment to pick young girls under the guise of opportunity.
Jeffrey had a lot of ties to model agencies that had a lot of Eastern European. They scouted Eastern European girls, placed them in Paris, and through that agency, Jean-Luc Brunel, I mean, a lot of people know about him. Through that agency, he would send these girls.
And this is where Erika
Honeypots. It's a honeypot. That, I said, Operation Midnight Climax. Or Project Midnight Climax, what do you want to call it? That one is the one. It's the same thing. It's just the government's just use celebrities now for their honeypot entrapment.
Erika's orphanage re-enters the picture
probably
in a way
make
that
them look
makes
at some, like,
people
weird schooling,
uneasy.
too,
Because
because
when
of
you
it.
place an international orphanage, one with vulnerable children, loose documentation, and foreign transfers, inside a network already
Does that sound like Somalia? What Hillary Clinton was doing in Oprah? They do this everywhere they go. Anywhere we've set up a fake fascist regime, like a fake regime with cartels and drug, like when we go in and systematically destroy a country, when we do all the weird little guerrilla operations we do, this is a part of them. This is all of it. It's all to snatch up their children. Because what they do is they make them not care about kids as much. And once that starts happening, they start disappearing.
known for access and mobility, the optics change completely. Suddenly, the question isn't just what the orphanage did, it's who it served and why records tied to it had to disappear. Now,
happened
here's
with
where
Oprah?
this employee's testimony gets really scary. Y'all have probably heard the rumors about Erika's Romanian angels being used as a front for a trafficking ring. And this employee believes this might be the reason why Erika had them delete every document that could trace that side of the orphanage back to her. According to insiders, the kids at the orphanage were allegedly shipped to
Why is it always rich Ashkenazi people that end up with like these orphanages and these foundations and stuff that donate to the children and have full access to them, and then it comes out, something happens, and then whatever happens and transpires, they sweep it under the rug, they disappear, and act like nothing happened. Like, that's wild that you can even do that. Like, murderers don't get that treatment. Why do kid touchers? They should definitely never get that treatment, those people. If anything, like, I'd rather a murderer get away with that kind of thing than these fucking people. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, the social justice to that. Like, our society's fucked up for enabling this.
Families in Europe and Asia without proper documentation. Some of these kids weren't even orphans, just kids who needed a place to stay because their parents.
Hold up. My bad.
And angels being used as a front for a trafficking ring. And this employee believes this might be the reason why Erika had them delete every document that could trace that side of the orphanage back to her. According to insiders, the kids at the orphanage were allegedly shipped to families in Europe and Asia without proper documentation. Some of these kids weren't even orphans, just kids who needed a place to stay because their parents were going through a tough time. But they were ripped from their family.
Like, the kissing the kid thing is weird too. Like, weird.
And sent to strange families in new countries. But beneath all of that is the darker angle, that some of the kids were being sent to men like Epstein, who turned them into party favors for their wealthy friends.
Ew, why
and
did
the
the
fact
AI
that
call them party favors? Ew, those are bad. No, you don't use that term towards children. What the fuck?
they popped right around
You're
when
trying to be
Erika was about to
derogatory towards a bad
rewrite her
man.
story again after
Fucking
Charlie's
weird.
death says a lot. And let's not forget that the reason people believed Erika could be involved in this is that she also worked in modeling and casting while she lived in New York. But here's what's actually setting off alarm bells. Not a single person who worked alongside Erika at that orphanage has stepped forward to shut this down. No former caretakers, no administrators, no volunteers, nothing. And for a place that
Like I said, how does that happen? How many people are dead? That's something I'm probably going to do eventually. I'll get down to that. See how many people are actually not living anymore that are involved.
That supposedly employed
feel like a
dozens
lot
of
of
people
people are
over
just
the
dead.
years, that kind of silence doesn't just happen on its own. Even the employee who finally spoke up didn't attach their name to it. They came forward anonymously,
die.
despite claiming firsthand involvement. And that detail matters, because every new silence traces back to the same accusation in the title. The documents that were allegedly
Everything
burned.
about them
because
is too PR'd when they're like, I don't know. And nothing about Charlie seems real. Honestly, like, there's a lot of weird transvestigation of people saying he's like a lady in disguise.
if those records never existed, there
you
would
only
be
fit,
nothing
like,
to hide
2
and
heads
no
on the
reason
shoulders,
for
not
everyone
3,
connected to
and
that
a whole bunch of
orphanage
shit.
to disappear at once. And this is where the story starts shifting from internet chatter into something heavier. Insiders say families connected to the orphanage have quietly been comparing notes, timelines, missing paperwork, unexplained transfers, children who were never returned. And that kind of coordination only happens when people are preparing for lawyers, not headlines. So when the word class action starts circulating in private conversations tied to Erika's orphanage, it changes the entire temperature
Why
of
isn't there a full investigation on, like, just to see where money went?
this story. At that point, it stopped being about an old scandal resurfacing and became about whether enough people were hurt in the same way to force the truth out in a courtroom, with or without the records Erika allegedly tried to erase.
What do you want to say to her and the other people that are putting these lies
His
out
fucking
into the
fake
world
interview.
right now?
There was
Stop.
fucking...
Now, here's where everything flips.
She looks
It
a
turns
fucking
out that the
demon, bro.
real reason
Like, what PR person told her, hey, let's cake on the eyeliner with your blue eyes. I'm gonna put some dark ass ashy fucking eyeshadow on. Fucking bad idea.
why Erika has been so focused on
Fucking-
controlling the
she really
narrative
does
these
like
last
Friday
few
Chucky.
weeks is that she already knows that something is coming, something that could ruin her carefully curated image, and it has everything to do with the Romanian government. According to reports, Erika is now being investigated by the government for the
Like
way
I
she
said, they
ran
were
the
priming
orphanage.
Charlie for an event the whole time. He went from being like the knockoff Ben Shapiro, but Ben Shapiro wasn't doing so well anymore. So they tried hyping Charlie up. So they hyped him up. They started doing the whole Crowder thing, because they tried doing with Crowder too. They tried hyping him up. They did the whole live crowd thing, get all the college kids. And then that wasn't getting enough eyes, so they put him on South Park. Once they got him on South Park, I said, oh, something's going to happen to the guy. Or something's going to happen. And they did. They ended up shooting him. Go look at the shooting. Everybody keeps saying it's a gun still. There was no way a gun was used in that fucking thing. And now they're saying drones. Let's just go with practicality. Because the idea of a drone shooting you like that with no one noticing it in the sky still would cause like a background noise. But a squib going off and a bunch of fake blood. Because there was no blood. I'm fucking sick of people saying there's blood. There was no blood. Especially the people that were supposedly holding his neck. They kept pulling their hands up. There's no blood on their hands. Like, all this is fucking... Bro. Oh, we're all being played.
Insiders
All
say
one big
words like
team.
trafficking and
They keep interviewing the guy who was the last person to talk to him, who was supposedly one of his biggest enemies or some shit. Like, all of it. And he's Jewish. Like, why the fuck does it always keep happening? It doesn't make sense.
conspiracy are being used by Romanian investigators to describe Erika's actions. In fact, it's believed that Romania has placed Erika on a no-fly list pending the results of the investigation. And if this is true, it would also explain why Erika still hasn't addressed any of the accusations
But
being
Egypt-
thrown her
Egyptian
way
planes are always
regarding this
following her.
orphanage, even though she has addressed practically
completely
every
an
other
asset.
thing people have said about her since Charlie died. As if that isn't bad
Like I
enough,
said,
Erika apparently
her last name is Rothstein. Or Rothstein, whatever I call it. It's fucking Rothschild related.
just launched yet another orphanage in honor of Charlie, while she's being investigated for missing children from her last one. So, between the Trump connections, the missing documents, and the new orphanage, her silence is starting to look very calculated. What makes this worse is that if the Romanian investigation is real, then this isn't about online chatter anymore. It's about records that no longer exist, children who can't be accounted for, and witnesses who are too scared to put their names on the record. Because if Erika really believes she did nothing wrong, there would have been no reason to erase a paper trail this aggressively. No reason to pressure
Alright,
staff.
let's keep it going. What's this one? What's much more? You slop. Oh, this chick's videos I keep finding, hers are great. I'll get her name eventually. She makes some great shit on this. It points out all the shit we all be seeing. Like, that's not how someone grieving would act.
He's like crying, but kind of that childlike thing.
Oh, you notice I'm
He
right?
would walk through the door, drop his bags, daddy's home, take his phone, Friday night, Shabbat Shalom,
She does that
throw it
thing.
in the
She does that thing where fucking like Craigslist actors, they do that look up to the left thing, because if you look up, you're trying to get your like seppuku eyes fucking to like tear up, get some air under them, so you start tearing up. So like, Like, they try to do that shit. Like, they never give a real tear, and if it is, it's only one tear. Like, they can never just do a real, actual crying.
Drunk drawer, and it was just all us.
There's nothing to do constantly dabbing their eyes, hoping to, acting like they're not going to ruin the makeup.
Erika Kirk, a psychopath? That's the question that a couple of American readers of The Wisdom of Psychopaths have asked me quite independently over the past couple of days.
Y'all, you know how Erika Kirk has always been accused of acting? And I don't mean she's dramatic, I mean the way she's handled Charlie Kirk's death. Perfect tears, perfectly timed breakdowns, crying on cue in public, then
What do you mean elaborate camera shots? My favorite part is when she like cries on cue, or she turns her head, or like they cue up her name and she like the camera follows her. It's so fucking stupidly perfect. I
right
hate
back
it.
to composed and camera ready. Well, it's starting to
It's
look
so
like
funny.
people weren't just being mean, because a Disney connection just resurfaced that a lot of y'all definitely didn't know about, and it low-key exposes Erika as someone who's been around trained actors, performance spaces, and media coaching way longer than
trade.
she's ever admitted.
I
And
hate
once
that
you see it,
fake-ass smile.
a lot of her behavior starts making sense. Now,
It reminds
here's
me
where
of,
things get weird.
You guys remember like VH1 or like E, or they call it the entertainment? They had like the fake like celebrity chick, like, or guy, just like. Like, I hate that. Look at that. Oh my god.
Full photo
Fucking
of
hate
Erika
that.
Kirk with David Henry.
Bro, I have
Yeah.
like veneers because my teeth are fucked, but like that fucking dude. Really fucking want to
Wizards
show them
of
off.
Waverly Place David
Good
Henry
smile.
has
Like
resurfaced
this.
online. The photo was
I
originally
hate
posted
that.
back in 2014, and
Oh,
it shows them
Ashkenazi.
standing close, smiling,
Can you see the rat
very
face
comfortable.
on it?
And Erika didn't just post the photo casually either. She added a very passionate caption about their friendship, talking about purpose, calling, changing the world, saying she was so blessed to have friends like a David Lenry who understand that calling. Friends, that's the word she used. So naturally, when the photo resurfaced, people went straight to the comments and started asking the same thing. Wait, how do they even know each other? Because David Henry wasn't just a random actor. He was a Disney kid, a trained one. Scripted shows, media coaching,
I've never
press
even heard
training,
of him.
emotional delivery on camera, all of it. And suddenly people were like, hold on. Now, for those who don't know, Erika has stepped way more publicly into her role.
It's really weird how a lot of these people work with Disney a lot of the time, or they get a gig working for a kids movie. Like, I question a lot of, like, for example, Home Alone 4, I think it is. Like, they have like this huge celebrity thing in this one kid, and then like, why would you guys be in this movie for such a low budget? It's really weird. I think they just wanted to be around a kids movie, so I have a reason to go around kids.
Role as
Like,
the
weird
Turning
shit like
Point
that.
USA CEO, the position she inherited after Charlie's death. And that move alone has drawn a lot of
I don't know how
criticism.
she inherited
Since
the network,
September 10th.
because like that makes no sense. It's not like Charlie left it in the will that she be on the show. Like, that's not how like networks and shit like that. They're a hedge company. Like, like it doesn't make sense. Why would she just become the limelight now? This isn't like how like it's not like an empire being passed down like they're trying to say. It's just a TV network show. Not even a network show. It's a fucking online show. And they're just passing it down to his wife. Why his wife? They usually have someone lined up before.
The day Charlie was fatally shot during a live
TSP,
event at Utah
the whole
Valley University,
Turning Point USA
Erika
shit
has
is
been
like-
everywhere. Fox
He didn't even
News,
start it. He
multiple
technically
interviews,
became the voice
political
afterwards.
gatherings, standing next to major
The
figures
whole
like
thing
Donald.
since the beginning was designed by like Mossad agents to get people. Remember, the people who did Ben Shapiro shit are the same people who did this. This is ridiculous that people even fell for all this.
Trump, and every single appearance,
And up
camera
until the
ready.
point Charlie died,
You
he
couldn't
was
tell me that
preaching
came
for
out of
Israel.
nowhere.
Until
Now,
like
to
what
be
the
fair,
last
David
week, and
Henry
then they
hasn't
loved
publicly
pointing out that
talked
he said he woke
politics
up.
much. He's
I don't think
spoken
he
more
really was
about
waking
faith,
up.
especially when discussing his role in the film Little Boy, which he said helped reignite his belief in God, and that alone explains some overlap. But that still doesn't explain how Erika was moving in entertainment adjacent circles years before she ever became a political widow. And guys, this is where people started zooming out, because when you add this Disney connection to the fact that Erika has pageant history, reality show experience, and years of being in performance-based environments, yeah, that's not accidental.
New Miss Arizona USA 2012 is Erika Franzwey.
Franzwey, like, what? Her name changes so much.
let's be honest for a second. Pageants are basically performance. Reality TV is all performance. And those faith spaces that live on camera, you don't survive there without learning how to act. So when people say, why does her grief look staged?
Because it is. And
why does she cry?
She's not even, like she said, I made that joke about Disney Channel acting multiple times there so far. She really does have Disney Channel acting skills. She doesn't even do good. Like, who's believing this? I don't think there's anyone real.
Then switch tone so fast. This Disney connection suddenly makes those questions louder. And guys, it honestly shouldn't even be shocking. People have been calling Erika fake since day one, since the way she stepped into power almost immediately after Charlie's death. This just adds another layer, because if she's been around actors, trained performers, pageant systems...
Bro, she's one of the only people I've ever seen probably in a public eye that instead of mourning, like, it doesn't wear just... Like, she wears white. It's only been a few months.
And media coaching for years, then what we're seeing now might not be grief at all. And to understand what I'm even talking about here, we really have to look at the multiple times she's been on camera, because once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it. And honestly, you guys can be the judges for yourselves. Now, let's start with the moment that stood out to
She does like the same facial movements too when she fake cries.
Kirk's memorial.
Was that evil? Was this kid's look behind him?
No, the 22-year-old suspect accused of shooting Charlie had already been arrested. Emotions were high, the room was quiet, and all eyes were on Erika Kirk as she stepped up to speak. And while she was giving her speech, there was this pause. Not a natural pause, not a stumble. It was almost like a beat. Then she said that she forgave that young man. Now, of course, Erika has a deep Christian background, so the idea of forgiveness itself isn't shocking. That part tracks. A lot of people understood why she would say that, but it wasn't what she said. It was how it came out. Because if you listen closely, even before she said it out loud, you could hear her repeating it under her breath. You could hear her quietly saying, that young man in the background, almost like she was lining it up in her head, like she was preparing herself to land the moment just right. And I don't know about y'all, but that's what made people uncomfortable. It felt rehearsed. It felt like she was building toward an emotional beat. Then she says it fully, clearly, out loud, and immediately the crowd erupts. People cheer, people clap. You can feel the shift in the room, and if you watch the clip, which I know some of y'all have, you can see exactly what I'm talking about.
She's showing too much whites in her eyes when she talks. It's not normal. Yeah, it's seppuku eyes.
That young man on the cross, our Savior said...
Bro, she has like literally old evil eyes. Fucking ugly.
Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do. That man, that young man, I forgive him.
Bro, eat ass.
Now again,
to believe
let me be
that you have to
clear,
be a fucking
this
idiot.
isn't about criticizing forgiveness. That's not the issue. It's the delivery. Because right after people noticed that moment in the speech, another clip started making the rounds online that made everything feel even more off. And guys, this part is important, so listen closely. There's viral footage circulating that allegedly shows Erika Kirk moments before she went on stage at Charlie Kirk's memorial. In the clip, she appears to be applying something to her eyes, something people online are claiming is a tear-inducing solution.
Probably. But she can't fucking cry, the fucking sociopath. So it's compartmentalization.
Again, allegedly. No one has officially confirmed what it was. But the timing is what made people uncomfortable, because this wasn't hours before. This wasn't backstage getting ready in private. This was right before she stepped up to the microphone. And then, minutes later, we see the pauses, the emotion, the tears, the perfectly placed forgiveness line. And guys, that wasn't the only moment people felt weird about. Not long after Charlie's death, Erika recorded herself kissing Charlie Kirk's body. She was crying, kissing...
Look how fake... Look at the fucking... Bro, you have to all be retarded. We all have to be retarded to believe this.
His hand, telling him she loved him, speaking directly to him on camera. And listen, grief looks different for everyone. No one's policing that part, but...
I don't get why you would have a closed casket. He got shot in the neck if that was the case of what they really were. He would still have... They could totally fix that. Like...
Here's where people got confused. Mind you, this was after Erika had asked for privacy, asked the public to stop speculating, asked people to give her space, and yet, she was the one posting herself on Instagram, filming those intimate moments, uploading them herself for millions to see.
Oh, I love you.
Why would they show it from the neck down? Like, this is totally a fake body, but like, why would you show it from the neck down? Like, there's so many...
I love you. I love
This is the cringiest. I fucking hate Assad's fucking acting unit. They really aren't training these people that good anymore.
That's where people started asking, wait, who is this for? Because if you want privacy, you don't usually pull your phone out during one of the most private moments imaginable and hit record. And this is where things got even messier. Even Candace Owens called it out. And guys, these two have not been on the same page since Charlie died. Candace has openly questioned the official story surrounding Charlie's death and has said she believes more than one person was involved. She's been vocal about inconsistencies, timelines, and things that don't add up. So when Candace saw Erika posting those videos, she didn't see a private moment of grief. She saw a performance.
Everybody grieves differently. I wouldn't even record myself over a casket ever, okay? Some people maybe perhaps want to have that memory, but the decision to publish that, you crying over your husband's casket, and to publish his dead body on Instagram was a decision that was made by Erika.
And whether people agree with Candace or not, that reaction mattered because it showed that even people inside the same political space were uncomfortable. People started calling out how she dresses, saying she doesn't exactly look like a grieving widow. Not saying grief has a dress code, but when everything looks intentional, people notice. And then came the bigger speculation that Erika isn't just surviving Charlie's death, she's positioning herself, riding the moment, using the sympathy,
the pantsuits are a whole thing,
slowly
man. That's
stepping
hilarious.
into power. Some people even whispering that she could be eyeing a future political role, maybe even something wild.
I'm trying to think of like a trad wife that would wear a pantsuit. I don't think that even is a thing. Like, no.
Being floated as a potential running mate for J.D. Vance down the line.
Now, the way
The
she
fucking
went up
leather
on
pants are a
stage saying
choice.
she forgives the suspect because that's what Christianity would want her to do. Yeah, let's just go ahead and forgive the man who murdered your husband, or maybe he didn't, but that's a conversation for another video. Regardless, it really feels like the Trump administration.
And that's why none of this feels isolated.
I'm gonna clip this
Put
one
together,
here, and
it
if I
doesn't feel
post it together, I'll
accidental.
make
It feels
that other one
curated.
in. Okay, just continuing. AI slop on this stuff is hilarious, and I could just keep ripping off it, and then I'll make it super long.
And as you see there, it's a side-by-side picture of J.D. Vance and Erika Kirk. The implication being, well, they do kind of look alike.
But I do see some similarities of my husband in J.D. and Vice President J.D. Vance. I do.
You guys,
That's a weird
what if
hug.
Erika Kirk and
That's a
J.D.
weird hug for
Vance
someone who's
didn't
lost a
just
husband.
randomly cross paths?
What was that? That was weird. Real loving.
You guys,
head,
what if
hand on
Erika
head.
Kirk and J.D. Vance didn't just randomly cross paths in politics later in life? What if they didn't just come from the same state? What if they allegedly grew up together, actually raised like siblings inside the same off-grid breakaway cult in Ohio, completely outside the system, with no real records, no paper trail?
Some fucking gypsy ass living, man. That's some gypsy ass shit.
No normal childhood documentation, and social security numbers that supposedly didn't
That's some
even
gypsy ass
exist
shit,
until
bro.
much later? I know, it sounds insane. But once people started lining things up, the internet stopped joking and started asking real questions like, hold on, something here is not adding up. This rumor has been blowing up because people are asking one main question. How do two people with shockingly similar backgrounds, mysterious early lives, and deep political overlap end up this close? Unless there's more to the story. And again, let me be very clear up front. There is no confirmed proof. This is speculation. This is what people online are saying, connecting, arguing about, and side-by-side comparing. But once you hear it, it's hard to unhear. So let's get into why people are even saying this. Both Erika Kirk and J.D. Vance come from Ohio, and on its own, that's not strange at all. What is strange is how little anyone can actually pin down
know,
about
like
Erika's
4
early
years apart,
life.
no
Her
shit.
childhood is fuzzy. Her family background feels
I thought she
incomplete,
was
and
close
there
to my
isn't
age,
the
but-
kind of clear
Yeah.
trail you'd expect from someone who later ends up moving around power, money, and national politics. And then there's J.D. Vance, who wrote Hillbilly Elegy and laid out this rough, chaotic upbringing filled with poverty, instability, and dysfunction. But even with all of that laid out, there are still noticeable gaps in his story that never quite get filled in. Now people online are asking, what if those missing pieces connect more than anyone expected? What if parts of Erika's past are missing because they weren't supposed to exist on paper in the first place? Some of these rumors claim they were both raised inside the same closed, off-grid religious community in Ohio, the kind that
what kind of off-grid religious community, because I don't believe any of these people are Christian or Catholic or anything.
Tracking altogether, where birth certificates aren't filed the normal way, school records barely exist, and social security numbers don't show up until much later, basically living completely outside the system. And if this sounds familiar, it should. We've seen stuff like this before, especially in Ohio and nearby states. There are documented breakaway communities that stay extremely insular, avoid the...
Yeah, but those are like doomsday prepper people and stuff, not government next fucking politician lineups and shit. Like, this is like Manchurian candidate bullshit.
Government completely and leave almost no paper trail until people hit adulthood and suddenly need IDs just to exist in the real world. So when people say falsified SSNs, what they're really implying is late issued identities, clean slates, no childhood trail to follow. Coincidence? Maybe. But then people started looking at how close Erika and JD appear now, and that's when things really started spiraling, because there was that hug. Yeah, that hug at the TPUSA event is what really set people off. Erika shows up in leather pants, fully styled, very visible, very intentional, and JD Vance is right there with cameras rolling and a crowd watching. And it wasn't just a quick hello hug either. She leaned in, hands up, touched his hair, stayed close a little too long, and the whole thing felt way too comfortable and familiar in a way that made people stop and look twice. He has a weird face, bro. One comment literally said could explain that hug, and that comment alone opened the floodgates. Because people weren't just seeing two political allies greeting each other, they were seeing cozy energy. And this is weeks after her husband was killed. Now before anyone starts yelling, nobody is saying she can never smile again. But the timing felt fast. Like fast. The kind of fast where people don't drag you publicly, but they do start whispering. Now, that's where the dating rumors came from. People started speculating that maybe Erika and JD were more than friends. Maybe something had been going on longer than anyone realized. And then others jumped in to shut that down. Some users defended them, saying things like, it's just regional genetics. A lot of people from the same area look related because they are loosely related. Ohio, Central PA, Oklahoma, people have distinctive looks. Same with Utah, basically saying, calm down y'all, this is just what people from that region look like, which, okay, that's fair. That's one explanation. But then you zoom out and realize this isn't just about looks. These two have been called out together for a minute now, especially after Erika hosted Nicki Minaj, because that's when things took another weird turn.
That's weird.
Nicki Minaj gets involved.
The way this came out, now they're trying to make Nicki Minaj into some conservative like role model, which this bitch is talking about popping her pussy all the time and shit like that. Like, what the fuck are they talking about? And they got these two on stage now.
And at one point, she straight up calls JD Vance an assassin.
And you have amazing role models like the JD Vance, our vice president.
Now, whether that was literal, metaphorical, dramatic, or just Nicki being Nicki, people ran with it because it landed right on top of existing speculation. And yes, some people online have gone as far as accusing Erika and JD of conspiring to unalive Charlie. Again, speculation. Just what people are saying in comments.
You notice how they never show their kids' faces and stuff? Like, these are props. Like, I don't know, if you're looking at like Obama's kids, for example, you find out those aren't his kids. So like, I don't know, the amount, you've never seen her pregnant, yet they have two children. He agrees they have two children. It would be easier for them to all pretend this is all fake.
And sections, like, threads, and late night TikToks. But once that idea entered the
I'll
conversation,
give it a few more years so
it
someone
didn't
says
leave.
they've seen Charlie Kirk somewhere walking around somewhere.
And then came the AI interview. This parody clip started circulating. And listen, satire only works when it hits close to something real. The fake interview painted Erika as cold, irritated, dismissive, annoyed by questions, and weirdly detached. And people weren't laughing. They were saying, why does this feel accurate though? That's the scary part. When parody doesn't feel exaggerated. When it feels like it's just exaggerating what people already think. That's when you know the public perception is already set.
Erika Kirk, thanks for joining me. Erika, why do you keep coming out to these events with fireworks like you're a WWE superstar?
Someone asked her
It's too simple.
So you're not going to stop using fireworks?
No. I I'm not. That's what I want to do.
Then we get into the whole people grieve differently argument. And yes, that's true. Some people cry, some shut down, some stay busy, some throw themselves into work. But
no
fireworks,
wears
walkout
all white
music,
and just
tossing
fireworks.
merch into the crowd like it's a concert,
Yeah,
that's
no
where
one does
people
that.
started blinking hard. Because this didn't feel like quiet grief. It felt staged.
It's opportune attention. That's what this is. Who does this? Oh, my husband died. My husband died. My husband died. Hey, here's a shirt. Here's a shirt for
And
you. My
again,
husband died.
nobody
you know?
is telling her how to feel.
Hey, here's a
People
shirt.
are
My husband
reacting
died.
to what they're seeing. Then there's the forgiveness thing. Erika
fucking kill
publicly
me, bro.
forgave the man accused of killing her husband before he was even convicted. That stopped people in their tracks. Because forgiveness is personal, spiritual, emotional. But doing it publicly, that fast, before a trial, it felt premature to a lot of people, like skipping steps. People were asking, shouldn't we wait for the facts first?
That man. That young man. I forgive him.
And then
When I first seen that, I first off, no, that wouldn't happen. No one's gonna be like, oh, my husband's assassin. I forgive you. I forgive you. Whenever they do that, if it's a real person, it's someone threatening them to say that on television. No one forgives the killer.
Then comes the
No one takes that moral route.
Profit situation.
The fuck?
Erika steps in as CEO of Charlie's organization almost immediately. Yes, it's a non-profit, but let's not pretend it doesn't move money, influence, and power. So people started asking questions. Is it normal to take control that fast? Or does it feel like consolidating
It's so
power
AI
while
heard.
everything is still
Like
raw?
so with her.
That question alone made people uneasy. And finally, the Megyn Kelly moment. This is the part that made people sit up. Erika
Okay,
goes on
you're all
Megyn Kelly
pro-Zionist.
and casually drops something wild.
One of
She
these
says that
things.
weeks before Charlie died, donors asked him, God forbid something happens to you, what happens next? And Charlie allegedly said Erika would take over. Then, according to her, the donors responded,
Like I said, how do you pass down an empire like this? It's not well, actually like an empire. Like, this isn't an empire. This is a TV network show thing going on, internet one. They'd fire, he died, they'd find a new host and it'd be normal. Not, hey, we're going to let my wife on to fucking do it. And like, them having them on together, this is called priming. They were priming her to take over the show. Because she didn't have to come out of nowhere and start talking on the show. When did this start happening? Probably towards the last couple months.
with, if something happens, investigate. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Weeks before,
All
that's
right.
the kind of
I'll go with the
conversation that
fellow
sticks in your head after something